Hey guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. If you've never seen my face on your screens before, please click that big red subscribe button down below and also click notifications bell to get notifications every single time I upload. So before we get on with this review, I just want to say that Doctor Who has been renewed for seasons 16 and 17, so we can all put those rumours to rest despite the Disney funding or lack of Disney funding if they decide to pull out after this season. Well, no more. The reason I'm not as excited as I normally am doing these reviews is just because I'm tired. I've just gone and got a new Home Assistant because my Google is basically knackered now. I've had that thing for a very long time and just didn't seem worth, keeping it anymore. Well, I'm still gonna keep it, but it just didn't seem worth it, to keep using it like all the time. So the Alexa's replacing it now. Okay, without further ado, let's get on with this review. So this one is the Interstellar Song Contest. This was the episode I was most excited for because I knew we'd probably most likely find out who Mrs. Flood was eventually, and also this is kind of Doctor Who meets Eurovision, or Eurovision meets Die Hard. However you want to do it. For me, this is Doctor Who meets Eurovision, which I found this episode really enjoyable, and they just keep getting better and better, which I personally think is really fantastic. I love this episode so much because also we get the Doctor's granddaughter in, Susan. Now, it's been ages since we've seen Susan. Susan hasn't appeared on the show in a long amount of time. The last time we saw her was in the Five Doctors in 1982, so 1982, so that was the last time we've seen Susan. Also, she's been in like audio dramas and things like that, but her last on-screen appearance was with the Dimensions and Time, the whole EastEnders Doctor Who thing. But yeah, so that was the last time we saw Susan, so I'm really glad she's back in this episode because everyone, like all the fans, have been asking, where is Susan, when are we going to see Susan, that kind of thing. So yeah, this episode was really enjoyable, especially like if you're like a Eurovision fan like me as well. You kind of just really get it. Like the vibe of the show is like really kind of good for this particular episode as well. This is like such a great episode. I really do love it, especially with the Doctor and Belinda, because they actually find out what's happened to the Earth in this particular episode as well. I just absolutely love this episode so much. It's a great episode. It's fantastic. I love that we have Rylan, the normal Eurovision presenter, in this. We also have Graham Norton, check and check. And we basically just have a bunch of aliens in this. So yeah, I did really love this episode, especially when we had the TARDIS get sucked off. That rarely ever happens. Normally the Doctor does have like the gravity field on it, but I don't know, the TARDIS just took off. Belinda's stuck there, the Doctor is nearly frozen in space. That's when we get that scene with Susan like telling her grandfather to come back, like he needs to save the day. And my favourite scene, and I know this is going to be very controversial to a lot of people who have watched this episode will probably be like, oh yeah, this is my favourite scene too. I found this really great. The scene I loved was with the Doctor, Mike and Gary. I'm not against the show showing the Doctor as gay because Mike and Gary both really liked him. They were like, oh yeah, I'll do anything for you, they were like competing against him, like trying to be like, oh yeah, I'll do anything for you, Doctor. So yeah, I did really like that scene. I also enjoyed the scene where the Doctor used a confetti cannon to get back into the arena. Classic Doctor moves there. So this episode was really fantastic. I also love the fact that we finally got answers as to why the Doctor and Belinda couldn't get back to Earth on May 24th, 2025, the day before my birthday, because Earth is gone. Because the Doctor gets Graham Norton's hologram to explain it, and the Earth has disintegrated and it's not there anymore. So this obviously tells the Doctor now this is the reason why he hasn't been able to get Belinda back home. Also, a point that we should note in this episode, Mrs. Flood is there at the Interstellar Song Contest, and she has been taking the vindicating readings the whole time. So anywhere the Doctor's gone, anywhere the Doctor has gone, the Robot Revolution, you know, Lux, anything like that, she has gone and taken the vindicator readings. We didn't see this as important originally, because like the reason why she kept appearing is it didn't seem necessarily important, but it actually is connected. Like the two, like her character is connected. And that reveal at the end, Mrs. Flood is the last to come out of the cryogenic freeze. She biogenerates into the Rani. I did not see that coming. We haven't seen the Rani in a long time. If you don't know who the Rani is another time lady from the planet Gallifrey. Like the Master, the Rani is the Doctor's sworn nemesis, like nemesis really. The Master has been obviously the Doctor's nemesis for a long time, and so has the Rani, and we've seen the 6th Doctor go up against her and also the 7th Doctor. But apart from that, we've not seen the Rani. I think there was a lot of like theories in the fandom that the Rani escaped the Time War because the Master did. Like if the Master was able to escape the Time War, then surely the Rani was able to as well. So we've finally got an answer. The Rani escaped the Time War and has been on Earth all this time, posing as a nice little old lady, Mrs. Flood. I just found this so interesting to see that this was like finally who Mrs. Flood is, because it hasn't been of much significance up until this point. So the first time we see Mrs. Flood is in the church on Ruby Road, and then she doesn't make an appearance until like this season, and then she doesn't make an appearance until that final, and then we don't actually know at this point in the first series where she appears who is Mrs. Flood. We just think, who is Mrs. Flood? Who is this mysterious woman? And then we start she starts appearing randomly throughout this series as well. We didn't think she had any significance to this episode, to this in any way. Like, I didn't think she had any, you know, significance up until this fantastic reveal. Honestly, that reveal with the Rani is my absolute favourite Doctor Who reveal. She biogenerates. That makes her the second Time Lord to biogenerate, because the Doctor was the first one to biogenerate. So it's interesting to see that Doctor Who have gone back to this concept. So Mrs. Flood is now one person, the Rani is now one person, but they're the same person, but they're the same person who've split. It's complicated, okay? It's a bit like the Doctor, it's a bit like the 14th and 15th Doctors, that they're the same person, they're just in half. So the Rani's like this now. Mrs. Flood and also the Rani is also the same person. I honestly have no idea. This is so complicated. I'm sure in next week's episode this will all kind of, you know, tie up together and we'll get all the answers that we want and everything like that. And also Conrad's back, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, overall this episode was a really good episode. I love the reveal of Mrs. Flood. I was sat here watching it and I was like, oh my god, such an epic reveal. I just thought that this was such a good reveal, like not just in general but in any of the show's history. Like, this is an epic twist. Like, before you think it's all over, suddenly after the finishing titles you just got suddenly Mrs. Flood and Mike and Gary looking so shocked, like what the hell just happened. So that was such a good reveal, I think, of Mrs. Flood being the Rani. I'm excited to see where the final 2 episodes take us now, because Conrad is back. I feel like the Rani has done this deliberately. I feel like the Rani has let Conrad out of prison because she wants to form an army against the Doctor, and it just seems like... Also, it had to be her picking up the Master's tooth. Did anyone clock that? But yeah, I felt like this episode was really well put together. Bravo on June Dawson's writing for this particular episode. I think she did a fabulous job at writing for this episode. Also, that song that Murray Golden, Russell T Davies has already said in Doctor Who Unleashed, he had nothing to do with Diggy Diggy Doo. Like, he had nothing to do with that. That was all Murray. That was all Murray. So the song diggy diggy doo 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 doo, diggy diggy doo doo doo. That was all Murray Gold. That was nothing to do with Russell. He did not want that in. That is all Murray's Gold. So I will give a thumbs up to Murray Gold's spectacular writing in this, like music in this. I just love it so much. I love Russell's work in this so much. I also love how June Dawson wrote most of the script and Russell was like, can we get a couple of lyrics in there? I mean, come on. This was definitely the best. So yeah, I definitely really did enjoy this episode as a whole. The Interstellar Song Contest, definitely the best Doctor Who episode so far, because we've had people like Rylan, Graham Norton in it and things like that, and we've had like the mysterious Mrs. Flood. The answers come together now with it, and I'm really excited to see next week's episode of this particular series, because it's just because I really love this like series at the moment, and I feel like Doctor Who have been really stepping up their game as of late. And I'm also really glad that we finally got answers to who the mysterious Mrs. Flood was. Like, I felt like that was of some importance. At some point in Doctor Who it would be revealed. So I'm really glad. Also, they've picked the right person to play the Rani. I think she is going to be incredibly good. Like, the person who is going to play the Rani, I think she is going to be absolutely fantastic. I love like the look of the outfit as well. I just absolutely love like the Rani, like the actress who's going to play the Rani. It looks absolutely fantastic. She looks like she is going to do a fabulous job. We didn't get a next time to the next episode, unfortunately, because Russell T Davies wants to keep the next episode all like sort of hush hush and full of surprises. I am absolutely going to love next week's episode, because I know the final is coming up, which is absolutely scary. Literally the final comes out the day before my birthday, the first part anyway. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next week with all of this now coming to light, now that we know who Mrs. Flood is and everything like that. There is actually nothing bad to say about this episode. I loved every single minute of this episode. So the whole time Mrs. Flood was really great. Anita Dobson can do no wrong. I loved Susan coming back in. We have been asking for her so much to come back in. Like, we have been wondering where Susan has been, because the Doctor always made that promise that he would go back for Susan. So it's nice to see that she appeared in the Doctor's mind in the actual TARDIS, just to remind the Doctor to keep on fighting. So I did actually really, really, absolutely 100% love that. Like, that was really good. So yeah, I did actually really, really love that. I loved Susan in this episode. I loved the Doctor. I loved Belinda. Like, the Doctor and Belinda spent half of this episode separated, but I really do love like Belinda's kind of, you know, like having like the Doctor and Belinda sit down in this booth with them, like, and Belinda telling the Doctor that her parents used to let her stay up late for the Eurovision voting as long as she was in her pyjamas and she brushed her teeth, which I just think is so adorable that we finally get to have that little kind of one-to-one moment with the Doctor and Belinda. And I just absolutely love how the Doctor and Belinda are like, oh, we're so staying. Like, you know, they are so staying. This is the Interstellar Song Contest. Who does not want to stay? I love how the Doctor was one step ahead as well of those Helgrams. I just absolutely love it. I love how he did like a manatee field. That is a word we haven't heard very often in this series. Like, that was established back in season 14, but I love how we've got the word mavity again in this particular one, the mavity field. I absolutely loved that. I loved that again. I loved the Doctor getting on with Mike and Gary. That just seemed really funny. I loved Graham Norton's hologram in this, explaining that Earth is gone. So we've finally got answers. We've finally got answers to who Mrs. Flood is, what's happened to Earth. And the fact that the Doctor said that he is going to stop Earth, is going to save Earth, bravo. I also love in the end scene when the Doctor and Belinda run into the TARDIS cloister bells go off. That is very uncommon for the TARDIS. Like, when the Doctor set the controls for May 24th, 2025, the bells, the TARDIS is worried. Like, the minute the cloister bells go off, you can tell the TARDIS is worried. Like, she is worried. And also, can I just say one more thing about this episode? The lighting in this series with the TARDIS has been fantastic. Like, the use of the lighting, like the white, like when the cloister bells go off, the TARDIS lights went red for the cloister bells. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love like the variety of lighting they've used in this season, because the TARDIS has got multiple lights. Like the TARDIS console room, like the new one has got multiple like different coloured lights in it. Like you can have it white, blue, magenta, red. Hey Alexa, change light to magenta.
Okay.
See, you can do that. Hey Alexa, change light to white.
Okay.
So yeah, I love like the different, like I only did that to show you guys what I mean. So yeah, I absolutely love like the lighting in this episode as well, with the TARDIS cloister bells going off, literally turning the console red. Like literally the console room red. I also love how we've actually had the cloister bells in this one because of like the use. I feel like the last time we heard the cloister bells was Flux. The TARDIS was worried. We haven't heard the cloister bells since then. So this just goes to show how high the stakes are for the final. Like the TARDIS is worried, because I was like, oh my god, the minute you hear the cloister bells, something is distinctly wrong. It's not great, something is wrong. So I just absolutely loved like the cloister bells being used in this episode. I thought they were used very well. I thought like the ending of the episode when the Doctor and Belinda run into the TARDIS and the Doctor puts the Vindicator in and things like that. He doesn't realise that Ryan is going to follow him, I don't think. But I just love I love how the lighting, like the LEDs, have been used in this episode. I just love it. I love how they've waited to the very end to be like, oh yeah, the TARDIS cloister bells are going to go off. Let's turn the console room red. So yeah. So yeah, this was a really great episode. Overall, I'd give this a 10 out of 10. I cannot wait for next week's episode. I'm just sad there's only 2 more episodes left now until the end of this series. But yeah, so I'm really glad. I really like this episode. I loved the use of this episode as well. Doctor Who meets Eurovision. So yeah, and I also really do love the LED lighting that they used in the end of this. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up if you did, and please hit that big red subscribe button down below, and also click notifications bell to get notifications every single time I upload. Until then, Alon's